Welcome to Manchester. So far, they've been quite nice. So you landed in London, came on up to Manchester, been greeted well, enjoying it so far?
Yeah, it was great. We took the train from Euston train station up here to
So,
Manchester.
straightforward.
Manchester's super, everyone's so welcoming and nice. You know, like small blue collar town, and that's like kind of what I'm from back in New York. Just feels like I'm home a little. The weather, you know, it's like feels like fall time weather. For you guys, it's summer, but.
I was gonna say, what do you mean weather? Because we got it started raining, and like, oh man.
So it's been good so far.
Fair enough. So with Bilal in his training, he also came in with you last week on Thursday too?
No, so he got here I think on Sunday, and we met him up here. So
cool. Because everyone's been talking about the sleep times and the patterns and how it's all been changing, especially for a lot of the fighters over in the UK, having to delay or become nocturnal basically.
Yes.
What's it been like for you guys coming over from stateside? Have you just kind of stepped in and kept things the same, or have you also adjusted these few days before the fight?
Yeah, so it's the same time schedule basically for everyone back at home in the States. So Bilal's going to sleep at 7 a.m., waking up at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
So then it's like being nocturnal.
Gotcha.
But we're staying on that same schedule from back home.
Gotcha.
So like the sleep thing, it's not that bad. Like we're able to fall asleep pretty easily.
Yeah.
And it feels like we're just getting 8 hours, but it just feels weird because you know, you're going to sleep at sundown.
Yeah.
But it's been fairly easy. So
I guess it's quite good then that it's not really that sunny up here.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, well, that cloud cover kind of gives it a little bit of.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's nighttime.
Yeah, it doesn't confuse the body clock too much.
Yeah.
What's next for you at the moment? Do you have any fights coming up? You know, Jared, you're a skilled athlete, a skilled fighter, great wrestler as well. Anyone that you got your eye on, or anyone in the pipeline?
I mean, so just fought in Saudi Arabia, another fight where, you know, I fought Nasrat Hakparas, great opponent. I think I won. Everyone else thinks I won. They gave it to him again, so that's my second pretty bad robbery.
Yeah.
And I mean, I should be on a 5-fight winning streak.
Man,
I should be 8-2 in my last 10 fights.
Yeah.
So I would probably be ranked right now, maybe even ranked top 10 at this point. It's kind of like defeating mentally.
Yeah.
Because I know where I should be, and everyone else knows where I should be, and what I really am capable of. So I kind of like have to just stay ready, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
And if someone drops out of a big fight, you know, top 15 fight, like I know that they know that I deserve it.
Yeah.
And I'm showing that I'm evolving and getting better, and that I'm a solid top 15 at least fighter. I'm showing that I could compete at that level. After my last fight, I haven't really looked at what's next. I broke my foot in 5 spots 2 weeks before the fight. So I was in a boot for a week.
You hear that, Conor McGregor? You hear that?
I guess when you're a millionaire, it's easier to pull out of a fight. And then I also broke my orbital in the fight. Small fracture, but I'm fine. But I'm suspended for a certain amount. So I've been like, I came out of that fight. I came home from Saudi, and I kind of just chilled out. I needed to decompress from the fight life.
And just kind of get your mind in
exactly.
after all of the happenings. You know, my question was going to be, you know, how do you kind of come back from that after feeling robbed on 2 occasions, having to really?
So I mean,
the frustrations there.
My whole life has been come back from the depths of hell. So like compared to what I've been through is really not that hard. It sucks.
Yeah.
But it's just another obstacle that I'm just gonna have to walk through like I do everything else, and I will bounce back, and everyone will say, oh shit, he did it again. So I mean, I'm hoping I get like a, you know, someone that's well known, maybe a top 15, or fill in for a fighter that's, you know, had to pull out of a big fight. So like that's kind of where I'm at, and you know, I think I'm a household name now. Everyone knows who I am. If you watch UFC, you know who I am. And I've been around for a minute, so I think I'm at that point where I do deserve that.
Yeah, it's true. And you're right, the UFC remembers, they do. I mean, we've seen them kind of respond in kind to certain fights that maybe haven't quite delivered. They kind of recognize, right, we're going to rank that a little bit lower in the card. I mean, we've seen it with Makayev, of course, in one of his last fights. The performance wasn't as what most people expected. They thought, okay, not main card worthy. They kind of put it based on where it fits. So they do kind of remember, and although you might get the win or you might get the loss, they remember performances overall, I think.
Correct.
So I do hope that they do recognize you, and they do actually give you some of those golden opportunities as they come. Last question for you. One of the fights on the card, on the main card, is of course Bobby Green versus Paddy Pimblett. Now you fought them both. How do you think that fight would go? Who do you think's got the advantages? What's your insight, having been in the octagon with both of these guys?
So I really think it's who gets going the fastest in this fight. Because Bobby's the kind of guy that has to catch a rhythm. Once he gets reads on you, he makes it very hard, and he's in your face, and he's landing shots, and he'll you know, he could outpoint you.
Yeah.
He's got to get going fast.
Yeah.
He's got to get in Bobby's face. And, you know, Bobby always has his hands down.
Yeah.
And he gets out of way of shots by leaning backwards.
Yeah.
But Paddy does come forward with punches and strikes in bunches. So, like, if he could string together 3 or 4 shots while coming forward, maybe end with a high kick,
Ooh, yeah.
I could see him catching Bobby.
Yeah.
So, or he could take him down. But as we know, Paddy doesn't have the greatest takedowns.
Yeah.
And Bobby has very good takedown defense, underrated takedown defense.
His hands are low all the time. He gets his underhooks.
I think Paddy has to get going with his striking early, and he's got to make a big impression those first 2 rounds. Because
Yeah.
Bobby, he's a second, third round fighter.
Yeah.
Where you're tired, Paddy tends to slow down as the fight goes on.
Yeah.
And Bobby picks up steam as the fight, especially once he catches a rhythm. So like it's up to Paddy and Bobby, like who's gonna bring the action first and set that pace first, and that's who will win the fight.
That's awesome. Could I ask you, who would you might be more inclined to get the win? Would you be going stateside or would you be going Brit side?
Listen,
You don't have
we're
to
in
say.
Manchester. Paddy's clearly got home field advantage, I believe. And if it goes to a decision and it's close, I believe it goes to Paddy.
Yeah.
So that being said, they're both hard to finish.
Yeah.
So if it goes to decision, I'm leading Paddy. I'm going 65-35 for Paddy.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I like numbers as well. That's good.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad you quantified that for me.
But
I do
Bobby
do that.
obviously has a chance. We all have a chance to win when we're in there. So
Yeah.